Hello again, and top of the morning to you from me front porch. Well, actually, technically, it would be the bottom of the morning, maybe closer to top of the afternoon, but still, who's counting? Okay, I'm going to stop doing the accent because even though I have a lot of Irish in my lineage, I don't have a lot of Irish in my voice and my accent, and so before I offend anybody even further, we'll go ahead and bring it into that. And that's no blarney. Anyway, today is St. Patrick's Day 2021, and I know that there are a lot of people who are sad about St. Patrick's Day again this year because even though we've started to come out of the COVID situation, we're not completely out of it yet, and so that means people still can't celebrate it the way that they would like to, which of course is by imbibing a pint or two, or 5 or 7 or 12. For some reason, there are people who equate St. Patrick's Day celebration with just passing out drunk in your own vomit amongst friends. I've never found that to be the appeal of St. Patrick's Day, though I do enjoy the fun and festivities, and I would love actually to be able to go and hear an Irish group singing Irish drinking songs. I know that sounds weird, but you see, Irish drinking songs are about the audience participation. See, it's one thing to go and listen to a good musician, a good band perform, but I like the Irish drinking songs because they're interactive. They have clapping rhythms and echo things, and you got to pay attention and you got to stay engaged, and I just think it's fun, and so I wish there was something like that around here, but Des Moines, Iowa, we don't have a really large Irish music community, unfortunately. And right now, with things as they are, there's no place that's going to pay someone to come in from out of town to do that because you can't really have a large group there to pay tickets to offset the fee. You see where this goes. Anyway, I'm not doing this one to complain about how, oh, woe is me, we don't get to get drunk on St. Patrick's Day this year. Because frankly, there still will be plenty who will. So if that's your thing, party on, dude. I will not be joining you, but hey, just be smart and be safe for yourself and others around you. That's always, even when these COVID restrictions are away, that's still just really important. If you choose to really just cut loose one night because of St. Patrick's Day in this case, fine, but be mindful, be smart about it. Don't be stupid. That's maybe. Anyway. But the reason that I thought I would do one today is because it is St. Patrick's Day, and St. Patrick's Day, we talk about the luck of the Irish, and of course, it's green. I'm wearing my green hat. I don't want to get pinched, nothing. Of course, if I'm going to talk about green, I have to talk about learning while working, structuring or on-the-job training. This nifty book that I wrote that's still out there. You can still get it on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and td.org/SOJT. This is my book, and I like promoting it because it's a really good book. But today, because it's green, they let me pick the color that I wanted for the cover, and this was the color I picked because it's my favorite color, green. And so, of course, I have to put in the shameless promo for that. But really, St. Patrick's Day, we talk about the luck of the Irish, talk about leprechauns, we talk about finding your pot of gold. Here's my pot of gold. Actual, not real gold, but real gold-looking coins, chocolate. Yeah, the diabetic in me says, put those down, Paul. Put those, you're not that lucky. But I'll tell you where I am lucky. I am lucky in my job. And I've told you all for a while that I was going to do an update on where things stood with work stuff, with this position that I now have at Baker. And so today, the day we talk about the luck of the Irish, and I have a lot of Irish in me, I want to tell you how this, at least partial Irishman, has gotten insanely lucky, like blessed lucky. And so I want to just take a few moments and share with you what's going on. Because you have to understand, This isn't just me saying, oh, hey, look at me, look at Paul, look how great things are. Where I am at today, professionally speaking, is exactly where I had dreamed of one day being. If you would have asked me several years ago, what kind of job would you like to see yourself doing, Paul? What kind of, there's that old cliche resume question, what do you see yourself doing in 5 years? And I hate that question because it's like, I don't know. I mean, what's a safe answer to that? There isn't one. But if you would have asked me what kind of role would you one day like to be doing, I would have described something really very, very, very similar to what I'm doing right now. To this job. I'm head of training for Baker Construction Enterprises, which is an umbrella company that has multiple companies underneath it, the biggest of which is Baker Concrete Construction, which is the nation's largest concrete construction company. We do skyscrapers and stadiums and shopping malls and apartment complexes and all that kind of stuff. And it's like over a $1.5 billion a year business. I mean, this is huge. And I am the head of training for that organization. And it's a bit surreal sometimes because it's a role that as I continue to grow into the role and as the role continues to get definition, because they didn't have the role before I started. It's a new role. As we both, from both sides, are defining what it is a role that is exactly what I wanted to be doing. And I was just talking to somebody the other day about how if you look back at my work history and how varied it was at times, there were a number of points during that journey that I would have thought about wanting to do this kind of role that I'm doing now, but with what I was doing at that time, be thinking, yeah, I'll never get there. It's never going to happen. It's a lofty dream, but that kind of opportunity does not open up for a guy like me doing the kind of stuff I'm doing right now. And so that's where I was, low self-confidence in that, no real appreciation that I would get there. And then now that I am there, I look back and I'm immensely grateful to have gotten to where I'm at now. But I look back and I see that all of those varied experiences when I was doing this random thing over here and that random thing over there and this random thing over there, all of those experiences now come together to prepare me to be successful in the job I'm doing now. That is the job I always wanted to be doing. Now, just ponder that. That's like, to me, that's like mind-blowing. You say, well, God had his hand on it. There was his design. I don't doubt that. I mean, especially now with seeing how this worked out. But just ponder for a minute that at times when I was here doing these things and having this dream of one day getting to a certain place, but not feeling like what I was doing at that point was helping me get there, feeling somewhat self-defeated, somewhat bound in, not able to go where I wanted to go. Now I am where I wanted to get to, and I'm recognizing that all of those experiences prepared me for right now. I mean, that's pretty awesome. So not only am I lucky to be where I'm at now, I really need to be lucky for all of those experiences too. Even the ones I didn't appreciate at the time, they all taught me lessons that I now put to use. And that's incredible stuff. You talk about the lucky pot of gold. That's my professional and personal lucky pot of gold. And it doesn't rot my teeth or make my blood sugar go up either. But those experiences that I didn't even fully appreciate at the time are indeed my personal pot of gold. Help to make me who I am right now so that I could be successful at doing what I'm doing right now, which is what I wanted to be doing. Now, lest I just keep talking in hyperbole, let me give you some example of where things are. Now, when I first started with this company, they had me focus on developing one program, getting that launch and getting it going, and so we did that. And over time, COVID screwed us up a bit, a couple of times actually, grounded us for months at a time, but we did the best we could, and we used those downtimes in other ways to accomplish other things, and we've continued to be successful and have a good reputation. And over the couple of years now that I've been with Baker, I've been able to continue to expand the team. So now I'm up to having 3 full-time team members, and one of them was already there, was already part of the organization, and then has come under my wing in leadership since I've taken on this role. But still, so I have 3 who are full-time reporting me. There's another who's a full-time training person based in our DC office, but I share his time. I pay for half his time, and they pay for half his time because he's supporting the training that they're doing there. But he has a partial half of his reporting is to me. And then, in addition to those 4 individuals, I have 2 consultants who I've brought in that are working with specific different things, and we have continued to move along. Well, now we have very aggressive. I've laid out a vision for where we're going to go as a program. The founder of the company, Dan Baker, when I was being interviewed and brought in, he made it very clear to me that he was not looking for someone to just come in and build a training program like everybody else has. He wanted something that would be different, something that would be unique, something that would have characteristics and dynamics that would make it stand out. His words were, I want it to raise the bar for the industry. I want it to become a new gold standard that everybody else looks at and says, ooh, did you see what Baker's doing over there? That was the challenge that they had when they wanted to bring me in. And frankly, that had a lot to do with why I went in. Because at that point, I didn't know what that was going to look like. I didn't know how we were going to do that. But the challenge was exciting. I mean, and to be doing it on a national stage, the nation's largest concrete construction company, and to be able to work at that level, it's like, wow, yes, this is what I want to do. And now here I am doing it, and we're doing it successfully, and it's going very well. It's going so well, in fact, that my obligations, my responsibilities have continued to evolve also. We have a learning management system, an LMS. Many of you probably have them in your organizations as well. And if your organization is like pretty much every other organization, there are people who are not happy with the LMS that we have, and they say it doesn't work real well. Well, I did a little checking and found out that, some of it may be the system, but some of it is because people just don't really understand how to use it. We haven't done an effective job of preparing them for that. And so, head of training, it only makes sense that now I have assumed responsibility for the LMS. It is now mine. I own the LMS, and those working on it report to me, and I'm going to be hiring an LMS administrator. We don't have one currently. We have fantastic regional people who are doing stuff in there, and we have a lady at our corporate office who is the default LMS administrator, but she's an HR person with HR duties, a full plate of responsibilities, and the LMS dumped on her. So by her own statements, she acknowledges that she is not able to push people to use it more, because if they did, they'd hit her up for more support, and she doesn't have time to support now, let alone adding more, pushing them to use it more. So there's a bottleneck there that everyone acknowledges, and so I'm going to move to get that taken care of. But so I'll be hiring another person to join my team who will be the LMS administrator. But that's not where the growth ends either, because Baker is a company that overwhelmingly our population speaks Spanish. And so I've made the decision that everybody I hire now has to be bilingual. Now, I'm not, by trying to pick up things along the way as we go. My 3 years of French in high school were great, enjoyable. I had a fantastic teacher, but they didn't really prepare me for a workplace that's Spanish and English. But now everybody I hire has to be bilingual. Well, it is difficult. I'll just say that, to find bilingual trainers who are skilled, who are competent, and who get what I do with structured on-the-job training, who understand the value of what happens outside of the classroom more than what happens in the classroom. Here, I'll put in the plug again. Learning while working, structuring your on-the-job training. This is the manual for how to build your own program to do that. I don't need the manual. I wrote the book. I know what I'm doing. But so everybody I hire for the team has to get those concepts. Just finding good, skilled, quality trainers who are fully bilingual, verbally and written, the ability to read and write in English and Spanish as well. That's a tall order in and of itself. But then you throw in this other dynamic of, can they grasp this? Then I guess there's also the third dynamic that my team currently is an excellent team. Love working with the people I'm working with, and I don't want to bring anybody else in that's going to screw up the dynamic. So you gotta weigh that as well. And so with that in mind, we cast the net earlier this year to try to find one or two additional people to add to the training team also as trainers. And luck of the Irish, I wound up with 4 quality candidates who met all of my criteria. And each of them have a different area of strength that they can bring to the table. And I can see where I would assign them, what kind of things I would have them doing where they would bring value to the organization, where they would bring value to the team, and where we will be able to accelerate that vision of the things that we want to accomplish and create. It's very exciting because, training geek. But so then I went to the leadership above me, and they'd already approved that I was going to be adding more to the team. They had not approved that I was going to be adding 4 people right now, with a 5th one as an LMS administrator very soon. And so we had to work through that. We had to talk through that because there was some pushback initially of, is that a little bit too aggressive? Is that overkill? Do we really need that? And so I had to explain, this is where these people would be used. This is where they would go. And in the end, got the approval. So I am now looking to bring on all 4 of these individuals. I have to do one final check the box with them, and that is meet them in person. I don't hire anybody just virtual. I need to actually see them in person, and we need to see how they interact with people. So April 1st, no reflection April Fool's Day, but April 1st, I'm flying them all into Fort Lauderdale to our executive offices down there, where I will be meeting with them. I and my leader, who's the executive vice president, we will be meeting with each of them one-on-one for an hour, and then I'm going to gather them together in the afternoon and give them a little greater exploration look at the program. Then give them their offer letters, let them think about it, and hopefully all 4 of them will accept and they'll come on board. Now, why Fort Lauderdale? Not just because it's Florida, that's great, but because technically that's where my office is. My official office, my work office is right here in the house, here in Des Moines, Iowa. But my official office, according to my business card, is in Fort Lauderdale at our executive offices down there. And so that's where we're bringing them in. And it'll be fun for me too, because of COVID, I haven't been to my office, my official office, since December 2019. So it's been a year and a half since I've been to my office. So I look forward to stopping in and seeing it. Oh, look, the desk is still here. Look. Anyway, that's all happening. I'm excited about that. And there's other as part of the sales pitch, the justification strategy for bringing all these people on board at this point in time. I was also asked by the president of the company to account for how much money each of the regions are all spending on training, how much corporately and at the regional level, because they can all do their own things, and they do, and so that we can get a clearer picture as to just how much are we investing in this. Legitimate, fair question. So I went to work on that and discovered that all of the regions make up their own rules as far as as far as what they track and how they track it, and so that will be something else that I'm going to be tasked with going forward. It's not taking over all of the training that the regions are doing, but of doing a bit more management of what is being tracked and how it's being tracked, so we can do a better job of having uniform reporting of these things. We can genuinely see where we're at. It's just nobody has had that duty, that responsibility. Hello, head of training, here I am. And so that's now on my plate too. And I'm okay with that. But I mean, I tell you, when you start adding up the numbers of not only my budget's mind-blowing, the number that it is, seriously, really. But when you take that and then you add to it all of the money being spent by all of our regions and our sub-entities, and you put that all together and add that up into a number, it is wow. It is wow. I mean, it's a $1.5 billion a year company, so you'd expect that they'd be spending a bit on training. They better be, but still, for me as head of training to sit back and look at this number is just, yeah, that's exciting too. So all the way around, at a time when some others in my field, in the training field, have seen their jobs in jeopardy or even eliminated or laid off or whatever. Certainly, my consultant friends out in the field have struggled during this last year because a lot of their projects got put on hold. But even the in-house full-time training people struggled. Some the employment didn't continue. I am so fortunate that not only has my employment continued, my team employment continued. I actually, added 2 people, the one of the full-time and then that one that I'm paying half of, added them to the team during 2020. And now here we are going into 2021 where there's still unknowns and questions. We're not out of the woods yet, COVID-wise, and yet I'm bringing on five. I'd say 4 trainers and one LMS person. I'll do it this way. And the reason I'm able to do that is because this company is so supportive and so invested in what we're doing training-wise and what they see as the potential and the potential they see in the program that I'm helping lead to create. Again, we'll go all the way back to the beginning, to square one. The fact that I am in this opportunity, the fact that I get to do this every day is indeed my pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I am so loving everything that I'm doing there. Oh, there are days that are stressful. Oh, there are conversations that are unpleasant. Oh, there are times when I shake my head and think, how in the world am I going to pull this off? But every one of those things is a challenge that I've never had to face before, and that excites me. And you know what? So far, I don't want to jinx it. Knock on wood. Where is it? It's way back there. I don't want to jinx it. But so far, I've been able to rise to the occasion and do everything that I needed to do and then some. Which makes me sit back and think, wow, not only is this a role that I had always dreamed of wanting to do, apparently I can do it. Apparently I'm pretty good at it. Who knew? Now, I don't say that to pat myself on the back because I also am still very humbled every single day, almost every single day. I have that because it's an exaggeration to say every single day, but almost every single day, I literally have the I need to pinch myself. Is this really happening? Kind of mentality. And so that being the case, I hope I never lose that. I hope I maintain that level of groundedness, that level of being humble, of being being aware of where I have been and where I now am, and how lucky I am to be in this situation. So with that, I'll bid you adieu on this wonderful St. Patrick's Day. I hope that you are having a wonderful day as well. I hope that whatever festivities and celebrations you engage in, that you have fun. Again, I do encourage you to be smart about it. I also encourage you, if you haven't already done so, go out and buy a copy of this book, Learning While Working. Hey, shameless plunge wherever you can get them in. But seriously, this is a lucky time for me, and I do not take that lightly. I am humbled by the blessing that has been bestowed on me through my opportunity with Baker, and I treasure it greatly. And I treasure all of you too. Thank you for watching and enduring all the way to the end of this episode. It's a longer one, but I had a lot in my heart I needed to get out. This is good stuff. I'm excited. So with that, I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.